Many people feel discouraged when life doesn't turn out the way they hoped. Some give up and say, "I can't do anything right." Others choose a path they don't even like, only because their parents, their teachers, or society expect it from them. But let me ask you a question. If you don't listen to your inner voice, if you never follow your true passion, can you ever feel real success? Education is important, but it is not only about passing exams or collecting degrees. Real education is about understanding yourself. It's about finding what makes your heart come alive. People will tell you hundreds of success stories. You may even think, if I follow their path, maybe I'll succeed too. But life doesn't work that way. Until you know your own interest, other people's stories will only feel like distant lights, bright to look at, but far, far away. This is where our story begins. In a small American town lived a young man named Ethan Miller. Life there was calm, surrounded by fields and long, dusty roads. Ethan was cheerful by nature, but recently his face had grown serious. His smile had faded. He had just finished high school, and unlike his friends, he wasn't applying to any university. It wasn't because of money. His family was wealthy. They owned a large 20-acre horse ranch, one of the biggest in the county. But then struggled in school. He never connected with the lessons, and no subject ever sparked his interest. Instead of forcing himself to walk a path he didn't want, Ethan decided to pause. He wanted to take some time to understand himself better. But deep inside, he was afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of disappointing his parents, afraid that maybe he would never figure it out. One early morning, while helping his father feed the horses, Ethan finally opened up. His voice was quiet, almost broken. "Dad, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. Everyone else seems to have a plan, but I don't." His father, Richard Miller, was a man of wisdom and patience. Instead of scolding him or telling him what to do, Richard placed a hand on his son's shoulder and said, "Ethan, I have a small task for you. I want you to meet 3 people. Tell them you're the son of the man with the golden leg. Ask them how they became successful. Listen carefully to their stories. I believe they'll help you find your own answers." Ethan was puzzled. "The man with the golden leg?" he asked. His father just smiled. "That's something you'll discover along the way." So, with a spark of curiosity, Ethan saddled up his horse and set out on his journey. He rode 2 miles to the first house. On the list where he met an older man named Mr. Anderson, once a decorated athlete. When Ethan introduced himself as Richard's son, the man with the golden leg, Mr. Anderson's eyes lit up with recognition. "So you're Richard's boy?" he said warmly. "What brings you here?" Ethan asked honestly. "Sir, how did you become successful?" Mr. Anderson leaned back with a smile. "I was never good at school. Out of 40 kids, I ranked 38th. Books made no sense to me, but I loved running. That was the one thing I could never give up. I trained every single day. The first year, I only learned discipline. The second year, I learned from my mistakes. The third year, I studied proper technique. 5 years of hard work, and I finally won my first medal. After that, I kept winning more. Not because I was the smartest, but because I never gave up on what I loved." Ethan's heart stirred. He realized something powerful. Success isn't about being good at everything. It's about getting better at something you truly love. The next day, Ethan rode to a large modern house in town. It belonged to Mr. Thompson, the owner of the county's most famous restaurant. Ethan's family often ate there, so he was surprised to learn that this successful man was his father's old classmate. When Ethan asked about his journey, Mr. Thompson laughed. I ranked 39th out of 40. I was terrible in school, but I loved two things, eating and talking. That's how I started cooking. At first, I only cooked what I wanted to eat. One day, someone told me, "Your food is so good you should sell it." So I tried. The first year, I made no profit. I almost gave up, but my love for food kept me going. Slowly, I learned better recipes, better business, better ways to attract customers. After 5 years, I opened this restaurant, and today, it's one of the most successful in the county. Ethan walked away inspired once again. He realized that grades don't define success. Passion and persistence do. Finally, Ethan visited Mr. Mitchell, the top student of their class. Ethan assumed he would find a mansion. Instead, he found a simple, modest home. Mr. Mitchell welcomed him kindly. "Yes," he said, "I was number 1 in school. I knew a little about everything, but that was my mistake. I never mastered one thing. I never became an expert. And because of that, I never reached the success I dreamed of. Don't make the same mistake, Ethan. Focus. Find one thing and give it your all." Ethan hesitated, then asked about his father. Mr. Mitchell chuckled. "Your dad? Richard was last in our class, ranked 40th. One day, he fell off a horse and badly injured his leg. Doctors wrapped it in a golden cast, and ever since, people called him the man with the golden leg. But here's what's important. He never gave up on his love for horses. He started small, worked day and night, and built one of the largest ranches in the state. That's real success, Ethan. Not marks, not titles, but passion and persistence. As Ethan rode home, his heart felt lighter than it had in years. He finally understood. Each man he met had lived a different life, but they all shared one truth. They had followed their own path. They had trusted their inner voice. By the time Ethan reached home, his decision was clear. He loved horses, just like his father. Working with them made him feel alive. That was his passion. He would study animal care, train horses, and become not only a rancher, but a true expert in his field. And here's the lesson for all of us. The key to your future is already inside you. No one else can build your dream. If you follow the crowd, you'll always feel lost. But if you listen to your inner voice, practice your craft, and refuse to quit, the world will one day know you for your work. Remember, people who walk their own path often create new roads for others. So ask yourself today, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? If you enjoyed this story and felt inspired, don't just keep the lesson to yourself. Share it with others. Sometimes, one story is enough to spark change in someone's life. So like this video to support our work. Share it to spread motivation, and subscribe so you never miss another story that can move your heart and mind. Together, let's keep learning, growing, and becoming better every single day.